Championship goal, big teams win like this.
Yeah, first is good afternoon to all the members of the media. Yeah, well, it seems like we're making it a habit to score late goals, but we've spoken about it, and I think maybe it's also good that the opposition also knows now that you can't park the bus for forever, you know. So congratulations to the team, everybody involved at the football club, and in my opinion, I think at the end a well-deserved victory. Difficult one, but well-deserved.
Now, Coach, now from Samana Fan Blog. So we all know, we've seen in the past how important our fullbacks are in our play, and today we switched them again in the second half, and we've done it before with Aubrey, we've done it before with Tabelo. Today it didn't seem like we got it going in terms of also Kuliso, when he was going forward, he couldn't make a decision whether to come back in and cross with the right or cross with the left. Also Terence was on the back foot a bit when he was facing Mango on 1v1. What went behind that decision? Also considering the fact that it's his debut for Mamelodi Sundowns, and so I want to know what went behind making that decision.
Well, we just tried to unlock the bus. The line of 5 wasn't moving at all, and the only spaces we could get were the half spaces. And when you play so far from the goal, it becomes very difficult to create. If you look at just the 5 seconds or maybe 10-15 seconds before we made the switch, Terence actually got a very good chance on his right foot, and then all of a sudden it was that deja vu sort of thinking, where you're thinking if the fullback was right-footed, maybe he connects a little bit better with that situation. But okay, good. Terence hasn't trained with us really that much. Only one training session, and we didn't really plan for it. So not always an easy thing to do, to play. And you could see even with one-on-one with Hanamub, when he went to his left, he came onto Terence's weaker foot. But every time he came onto his left with Modao, he came onto Modao's right foot. So it became a bit difficult, but we kept the stove hot, like we say. We won a lot of second balls. We got ourselves into the right positions today, especially in the first half. We were not happy with the first half, but second half we were a lot better. And our occupation of the half spaces with our eights, with Allende and now getting a little bit higher up the pitch helped us a bit, because in the first half we felt that our eights played it a bit too shallow, and then you could have spaces with your fullbacks, but your fullbacks are now too far from the goal and don't have this inverting sort of possibilities. And then it looked a little bit better because we could go wide to come inside, not just to come inside with a cross, but to come inside with combination play and then with possibilities to retain possession and threaten the goal, you know. But not a very smooth performance. But you know, the other day I was actually listening to Carlo Ancelotti's press conference, and he said, particularly because of the type of season that everyone is having with this condensed fixtures, his statement was, I don't ask my team to play very, very well at the moment. I ask my team to win. Because you can catch up the performance, your momentum will come and the confidence will be there, but what's important is you've got to win. And congratulations to the players, because today I think they ground it out, and I think at the end deservedly they won the match.
Okay.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
May God bless you with many, many more.
Thank you. That by Allende, is that something you teach? I mean, the presence of mind?
No, the game belongs to the players, and those sort of moments are special moments for special players, and that's why we have this type of squad, a squad with a lot of quality and a lot of very good players, and it was good to see him coming from the bench and helping us to get the 3 points.
coach. I'll just try to shorten it up, coach. Yesterday, the club unveiled Mashego, as well as I think a couple of years ago, Ngobeni as well. These are players from Mamelodi. I went through the comments on social media as well. You know, the supporters love this. And are you not a bit concerned that Sundowns are not now, you know, giving opportunities to players from the academy? I mean, today Arsenal as well, 15-year-old made debut for Arsenal as well. Pirates, there's Thabo Somonyane slowly becoming a regular. Chiefs, there's Shabalala's coming through. For Sundowns, is that not concerning that, you know, there's not too much players from the academy who should be playing in the first team?
It's a good question, Karabo, because the reality is, of course, we want to promote from the youth, and maybe in the last few years since we've been given the responsibility to lead, we haven't really given a lot of youngsters from the academy an opportunity. Last season, we gave Vieira a chance. If you remember, from the academy, we gave him a chance against, I think it was Real AM, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then we've given Cassius also an opportunity, but we have to also be very careful not to promote for the sake of promoting and to look like we are trying to popularize this thing of youngsters being given a chance. When they are ready, we try our level best to give them opportunities. I think Ndando is going to be something very special. Cassius is going to be something very special. And then, of course, the reality is that when these young ones are also training with some of the best players in the country, they get to learn and to improve. And then we've also got to be very careful that we don't have situations like we have with Kaya, with Promise. You know, we've got to be very, very careful. The environment is important. The opportunities also are important, but I think in a very good moment, when they raise their hands up, they will get enough chances. It's not about winning that competition of who's promoting the most players. But even Thabiso Somonyane was given a debut by I was still there at Pirates, and it's taken him a bit of a long time to entrench himself in the team, but he's showing very good signs. But that's why we are also here to help these youngsters, and I think also for the fact that I come from a background with youth development. You know, I think in the right time you will see a lot more, because at the end, at Sundowns, is about winning, you know, and not a lot of people give you an opportunity to say, oh, but you're still playing the young ones, you know, because the young ones are still going to cost you. That's the nature of the business. The young ones have to gain experience, and the only way to gain experience is to make mistakes and to be coached and to learn. So we are very patient, and there's a lot of very good work that's being done by Sean Bishop and Surprise Muriri and Godfrey Sapula and the rest of the academy coaches. So when you start to see what is happening in the country, where, for an example, even in the opposition today, you had a Tendo. Where does Tendo come from? He comes from the Sundowns Academy. So at times it's not even just about playing for the first team of Mamelodi Sundowns, but the reality also is that sometimes these players that you develop are assets, not just for your club, but go on to be good players for other clubs, and then hopefully with the representation of the national team.
Coach, with the arrival of Terence, does it highlight maybe that Lyle there's some sort of decline? Because I mean, you and Coach Mangoba were quite vocal about Lyle being in the Bafana team. He made it, and then suddenly he's sitting in the stands, and there's two left backs that are playing ahead of him. What has happened in that year?
Yeah, the transfer market is a very strange thing at the moment, particularly also since COVID. You know, I think a lot of the clubs, from a financial perspective, are in a very precarious sort of position. And the left back was not a position that we thought we needed to strengthen when going into the new season. and we would have loved to have our business sorted by now. But the reality is that when special players, and Terence is a special player because he plays for the national team, when special players in a certain way are put onto the market and become available, you have to check whether all the boxes are ticked, and he ticks a lot of the boxes. And not necessarily because there's a decline from any of the left backs, but because the reality is a special talent became available in the market, and then he fits the methodology, the style of play, he fits the personality, and then of course he's got this emotional connotation to Sundowns and to Mamelodi, for an example. And that then says to you that when that type of talent is available in the market, you've got to go for it, because then it becomes a talent that goes to strengthen a rival and makes them stronger, So we are in that space where we've welcomed Terence, and we are happy to have him, but at the same time we know that we can't have too many players, and in this moment I think the biggest business for Mamelodi Sundowns is how do we trim the squad, and who do we let go of? Because when you have far too many players, that then speaks to how much competition there is, because every player wants to feel like there is a reach to the position, and then when there's 3 or 4 players ahead of you in the pecking order, that could lead to some form of demotivation. That then leads to less competition on the training field. Less competition on the training field means less intensity. Less intensity then affects the results, and because the performance then is not so good. But okay, good. We'll continue to work on that space, because the club is fully aware now. And I said in a couple of press conferences that the club has changed. The way the club is run now is a little bit different, but we have to try always to be on the same page and try to move the club forward as best as we possibly can.
Yes, Coach, I think my question has been asked by Mazola regarding Terence, but I just wanted to find out in terms of the transfer window period closing on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Any possibility of seeing a new signing, and then also maybe to elaborate about the Moroccan defender that was said is coming to Sundowns, and then how we can sort out the issue of the foreign space?
Yeah, well, the foreign space is we are okay at the moment. We've already spoken about that space, and we had to make some very difficult decisions for sure. And allowing a player like Safranco to leave was not an easy decision, because of the quality that he possesses and then the person that he is also. But we had to free up a space. The club will make announcements in due course with regards to AB. So we've just got to be a bit more patient in that space. But will we make any more business? I think you'll see more outgoings than incomings. That's what I think. I think at this moment we've got far too many players to continue to bring in more.
Coach, Kamogelo from Soccer Laduma. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
First and foremost, that was Alenda's third goal, if I'm not mistaken, and they've all come off from the bench while he's come off from the bench.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the best way to utilize him at the moment, or are you going to continue to start him at a sooner rather than later? Excuse me.
No, I think I said to the players today in the team meeting, I've never seen Sundowns train the way they trained this week. Ever since I've been here, they were phenomenal at training this week. They were unbelievable. And I said to them today, I said, if anyone feels today's lineup is the one where people can say, any of the players can say we are unfair, because any one of them could have started. They were sharp, they were running, they were intensive, they were competitive, and we were very unfair with our starting lineup today, because we could have played anybody. Because if we speak about meritocracy as our principle, then on merit, any of them could have started, and that includes Marcelo, Allende, in this moment, we're trying to put on the best lineup as we possibly can. A player like Sipho Mbule got the nod today because of the previous performance, which was very good. Today, not so effective, especially going forward in trying to get into spaces, and maybe also because AmaZulu surprised us a little bit today. They've got this 4-3-3 with a 3-man midfield of George Makaula and Keegan Buchanan, and then Keegan plays a little bit deeper to try to help establish the play. And then they have 3 9s, which are very problematic because they play very, very narrow mango. In the past, they had Kwem and Majoro Bongintuli. And then a back 4 with very aggressive and high wing backs. But today they went for a defensive line of 5 that did not give you any spaces on the inside. And then the half spaces were managed very, very well by George and Keegan. So it was a bit difficult for us, especially for our 8s, Sipho and in certain moments even Savreda trying to unlock the defensive line with movements that went onto the sides, but Tendo and even Hanamub were very disciplined to try to hold their positions and not to unfold. So tactical surprise that caught us a little bit off guard, but we are prepared now for this story. You know, every match is against a reinforced defensive block, is against a team that parks the bus, and we have the responsibility every time now to be the ones that initiate, that play on the front foot and try to manage and initiate the tempo. And the first 15-20 minutes, I thought we were very good at that. That's why we created, I think, the best chance probably of the match with Mshishi. And in that moment, I think he did very, very well. But also they had a very, very good chance with that double save from Ronwen, and then of course he makes a very, very good double save. And then I think the water break took a little bit of the momentum and the rhythm out, and then the fact that, as I said even last time, the stoppages, fouls, and when everyone, like even from the top, Gaba goes into 50-50s and he falls down, you know, and Zuma falls down and George falls down, and you know, so yeah, it's the story of our lives, but we're getting better at it, we're getting used to it, and we will improve. We are a good team with very, very good players, and we've got a very, very an honest bunch. You know, it's an honest group of players, and that's one of the things that makes you as a coach very happy to work with this group, because they give the best. They give their best every time. You know, when we fail to win, or we fail to score, or we fail to get the result, it's not because we're not trying. I mean, everybody can see that our players try, and they try very hard, and an honest group, a very, very honest group, and a group that makes us very proud to be their coaches.
Last 3 questions, Lorenzo, Kens, and Mascara.
Oh, he answered my question. Okay.
Lorenzo, Mascara.
Coach, the squad that you have now, I mean, like Nasir is not available.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of players we can go and mention.
Yeah.
It's not only made South African football teams and fans envious, but across the continent.
For sure.
I believe we die fans are just looking at players like Nasir, for example. Is that a decision from the coaching staff to work with such high quality players because there's a fear of failure? If you don't win every single trophy on offer, would that be considered a failure for you guys, the technical team, this season, because of the strength of the squad right now?
Oh, good question. Big clubs have pressure to win, for sure. We are in this business to win trophies. What that means with regards to how we try to evaluate whether we are successful or not is completely up to the club and the leadership of this football club. For sure, the mandate is very clear. We try to make sure that we win every single match, and therefore we try to win every single trophy by winning every match. And in that moment, ours is to continue to coach the team as best as we possibly can, to give ourselves the best possibilities to to have performances that are worthy of winning football matches. At this moment in time, we are playing in segments where you can see that the car is moving, but there are moments where the car has a momentary lapse of running out of petrol or running out of oil, and then you've got to reservice it. But that happens to the best in the world. Liverpool haven't hit top gear. Man City haven't hit top gear at the moment. Barca haven't hit. Bayern lost now after 3 draws, and then also. So it's going to be a very, very long season, a difficult season. But what's important, and this is what we say to the players, is what's important is it's not a season where you want to catch up with the points, because the improvements from most of the clubs this season is gigantic. Not even just minute, but gigantic. A lot of the squads and the depth in the squads is not so big, and therefore you can see even with the results how difficult it is for teams to consistently chalk in 2 wins, 3 wins on the trot. And that's what we have to also continue to do. We have to continue to try to win football matches. We are in that space. And of course, for sure, if we don't win football matches, of course, that's a failure for this club. We are in this business as coaches to win. And that's what we try our level best to do. In this moment in time, we're trying also to check up the performance to make sure that we can get a consistent flowing performance on the pitch. And hopefully that gives us possibilities to challenge for sure for every trophy that's on offer.
Coach, a word on the goalkeeper Ronwen. I think some solid performances and some top saves today.
Yeah.
But after that, Coach, when you have infield players, almost all of them getting a chance. And you did mention that, you only play one goalkeeper at a time, but is there a point where you would think your Dennis, your Kennedy should be getting opportunity? And what are you saying to them, those players, because they've been playing very well in the past, and now Roman is coming in, is playing almost, if not all the matches. How do you solve or deal with this kind of a situation?
Sometimes it's a biblical principle. They say iron sharpens iron. And if you see the performances of Ronza, you've got to also give a lot of credit to the goalkeeping coach, but also you've got to give a lot of credit to Dennis, to Kennedy, to even Riyadh for the competition that they give him, because I think Ronza knows that by their own sort of acclaim, Dennis should be number 1 anywhere else in the league. Kennedy is number 1 anywhere else in the league. For sure, Riyadh is taking a claim for that position, and that's why we rewarded him with a position on the bench today. And part to having a very good boxer is to have a very good sparring partner, and Ronwen knows that in any moment when any one of the other goalkeepers takes the opportunity to play, the chances of reclaiming that position is going to be very, very difficult, and therefore he has to try by all means to be consistent with his performances and try to stake a claim for being the number 1 goalkeeper at the club, which is not easy because of the competition. But we've got a very good squad in all the positions. There's fierce competition, and like I said even before, with regards to the other positions, players need to feel. Maybe that's why we even went for the diamond in the beginning of the season, because motivation is about feeling that you've got a chance to play. If I perform well and I fight at training, I have a chance to play. There's a position that's available, and at this moment, Ronwen is doing very, very well. But for sure, the fact that we've got very good goalkeepers also, who just so happen to be very good human beings too, and they support Ronwen and they give him all the support that he possibly needs, and they've just got to be very patient and wait for their turn. And for sure, when they get their chances to play, I'm sure they will make amends and fight for their positions too.
Can I thank you, colleagues? Thank you.
All right.